Hi, and welcome back to my channel. I am the Art Whisperer, and on this channel, I like to talk about art interpretation and its connection to current day life. Now, I do hold a BA in art history. I know, you don't care. But remember, this is for entertainment purposes only, so let's just have some fun. This week's piece is simply called Portrait of a Young Girl, done in 1465 by Tris Christus. I believe that's how you say his name, so let's just call him Petro. He was a Flemish painter of the Flemish primitive style. I talked about that in another video, so I'm not going to really go over it. I chose this week's piece because of the hat. I loved the hat. The last two pieces involved headdresses, so I figured let's just keep going. It is of the men's chaperon style, like the one with the little tail, they call it like a tail, where the material wraps around, where you can almost like yank it and strangle somebody. If you've ever seen Harry Potter, it's Professor Quirrell's style. For a young lady, this is called the Hennen hat. Now the Hennen style, it's not typically seen with the strap. That's why they refer to it as more of a stylish man kind of hat. A lot of the Hennen's ones, they were pointy dunce kind of cap. You know, the kind that everybody thinks that medieval women wore. This hat is great because if you have that turkey like waddle neck thing happening here as you get older, you could just like cover it. A few things are unknown, about why she wore this style hat, what's up with the strap, and especially what's up with like that tab thing that she's got going on up here. I'm not too sure. But a lot of things that are unknown is really information about the artist's life. Now, Petro, he was born around early 1400s and he died around 1475. Now, he's known for being Van Eyck's student turned successor. He was also a spokesman for the Guild of Visual Artists. He was another notable member of the Guild of St. Luke, and he had one pupil, his bastard son Bastian. Thinking about that poor boy, of all the names his mother had to give him Bastian, like the whole world knew in society back then, it was common, like your bastard son, and then name him that. I'd be upset. I'd be P.O. And speaking of pupils, this young girl looks as though she's school aged. I'm gonna guess around teen time, maybe 13, 14. Not quite an adult, not quite a child anymore. And you could tell by the gaze, like, she definitely knows a thing or two, as all teenagers think they do. And she is displayed with a background that's slightly different than what we've been covering. It's not plain, it's not like a solid color. She's got the wainscoting, the wood paneling back there, and it kind of divides her in half, which is really interesting because the light on the top, really stands out with the darkness of that conical shaped hat that she's got going on. And then the bottom part, her outfit is really dark, but that V stripe that's like just white really stands out against the dark wood background, along with the line that goes across horizontally, dividing the top and the bottom equally. You have that V. And along with that deep V that just like pops, you have that conical style up on top. Even her blouse, she's got that perfectly straight line that complements the horizontal one in the background. You have two things that kind of stand out to me. You have that one wonky eye that she's got curved up. It just doesn't look like it matches the other one. And then if you look at her ear, it's like a big ear. Luckily, maybe that's why she's wearing the strap. I was going to say, luckily she's wearing a strap, but maybe it was done on purpose. But whether or not we know who this young girl is, there's something that I love about it. Something that I have not seen in hardly any other painting. At least something that would stand out for its time. And that is her gaze. You see, she's looking directly at you. One of those creepy, like you're in a haunted house and everywhere you walk, like the picture, the portrait, like the eyes just kind of like move with you and that kind of feeling. That's what she's doing. And that wasn't common. She's got this look on her and it makes me feel like there's this, on some level, this intimate relationship with Mr. Petro. What that is, I don't know, but that's where the mystery is, and that's why I love it. It reminds me of the Mona Lisa. Everybody's always like, oh, why was she smiling? Because that was not common for the time that this painting was done. So you kind of can come up with a whole bunch of theories as to that little trickster smile. Well, this piece shows those beautiful eyes in that stern kind of snooty uppity look on her face. So I'm gonna just continue to speculate on it because I just love it so much. Now take a really good look, examine her from top to bottom and see if you can pinpoint anything that might be a little off or a little odd. Now you might not see it or notice it right away, and we're going to talk about something that's happening today. Trends. Eyebrow trends. As you can tell, I don't really have great eyebrows, nor do I do them. Like I don't really know what to do. And as I get older, they kind of fall out some more. But there are these awesome trends that I wish I would try, or that I had the eyebrows to try. And I know that we started out like in the beginning of the year with like the tiger eyebrow, that weird thing, the feather one, which was really kind of cool, but only if you're like 20. And then you had what I believe it was called like the soapy or fluffy eyebrow. And now, or at least I think it's now, I could be, a little behind. I probably am a little behind. But you have the structured fluffy eyebrow, right? So it's not like a Groucho Marx, but just thick and bushy, but it's like it's edged, almost like a beautiful shrub stuck on your face. And why this is beautiful, I don't know. I mean, I fall in line with everybody else. I just think, oh my God, I love it. I wish I had eyebrows like that. I wish I could do it like that, and even if it was some of the eyebrow trend. Remember when it was just like the thin little line, right? And then it was like the Brooke Shield that was just hair everywhere, And Brooke Shield, she rocked it. She really did. And everybody loved it. There are these trends that I just, I wonder where they come from. Really, I wonder if like someone like me just starts a trend and everybody just falls in love, and why, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna do a trend. What if I just like shaved one eyebrow off and then kept the other one? And then some celebrity finds it and they're like, oh my God, that's so cool. And then they do it. And then everybody starts doing it. And then come like 400 years, 500 years, 1,000 years, whatever, down into the future, they're going to see images and be like, what were they thinking? Now, what does all of this have to do with this piece? Have you thought about it? Have you noticed in a portrait of this young girl? Her eyebrows, okay? Yes, she's young, so they're not going to be like really dominant. But if you look at her face, they're hardly there. And there's a reason for that. But you have to keep looking elsewhere. Do you notice anything else? Her forehead, like the hairline is like up to here, which is not a feminine thing. Men have higher hairlines. But that was actually the style back then. See, it was considered elegant to have more of an oval-shaped face. And what's the best way to have an oval-shaped face is much more round on top. I'm assuming that's what they thought. They were like, you know what, this sounds great. And so they started, it was fashion, to pluck, to extend the forehead up. Now it went from having this shaped face that like everybody wanted, all the way to now it's just a big forehead that everyone wants. They didn't care about the rest of the face. It was more forehead. And then they plucked it even further back. Not only did they pluck it, they also would rub it off. like scrape it off. Imagine the rug burn with a stone. They also use quicklime. And you know what? I wouldn't want that on my head, because just imagine, oh, what it does to the skin. But then again, the plucking and everything, that's got to be painful. Now, I really wonder who that first idiot was, who was like, not the one that started the plucking, but the one that looked at the lady and was like, you know what, girlfriend, that looks good. I'm gonna start doing it. That idiot, she's the one that started this trend. But this young girl is doing it. She's following the fashion trend, just like we do today, but more extreme. It's not just the hairstyle, and it's not just the clothes that she's trying to change. She's trying to be older. She's trying to be more elegant, sexy in a way. And a lot of young people today in their teens are doing these really awesome eyebrows that I wish I could do. They're doing those along with other makeup trends, and they really are trying to portray themselves as something, or as someone a little more elegant, a little older, and they're just following this fad. And it'll be fad after fad. It always has been. Fashion will always change. And I love the fashion of today, at least in terms of, hair. And, my hair I can't really do too much with. And I certainly am not going to pluck it. But that is why I picked this piece. Because I was looking at Instagram and I saw somebody's eyebrows and I thought, what happened to the thin ones? Because I have thin eyebrows, and they're going to be disappearing soon. And then I remembered this portrait by the artist Petro. And I remember how there was this fad, this entire trend of hardly any eyebrows and really no hair up on top. And you can see it in all these examples. Do you think that that fashion statement of, the massive size dome up here that they were sporting looked hot? Or do you even know or have an idea of what her secret could be as to why she's like totally like gazing at the viewer? Do you think that there's going to be some, Instagram model who's going to start some one eyebrow trend that everybody else is going to follow? Tell me what you think. Put it in the comment section down below. Give a thumbs up, hit that subscribe, and come back next week to see what I discuss here on The Art Whisperer.